Hey, what is going on, guys? I hope you have a good day. In today's video, I will definitely make your day much better if your day is not good, because in today's video I'm going to show you one really cool deck in a standard format. So we are looking back at Dragonite GX for the second time on this channel. This time updated with Jirachi. It works perfect. It's definitely good. It's strong. It has a lot of support. It has Cyrus and Lance. It has also this Latias with the Dragon's Fleet, and it has a lot of options to snipe your opponent bench just like that. So before I start to go through the deck, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about Dragonite GX. 250 HP, stage 2 Dragon Pokemon. 1 energy for Dragon's Claw, 70, that's insane. Giga Impact for 200 might seem a little bit much, but once you manage to power up your Dragonite GX, and then when you hit 3 of them and when you find Super Boost Energy, is going to be such an easy play, as long as you have Dragonite with the Fast Call and Jirachi with Stellar Wish and the Skateboard in your bench, because then you can simply each turn Guzma for 200 between those Dragonites. In theory, it works perfect. In real life, it also works good. But it's gonna be, again, probably mid-tier to tier 3 deck, because it's still not gonna be that fast and strong versus those new tag team decks. But it's a good deck, there's no doubt about it. So I'm running 4 copies of Dratini with Wrap, because you can paralyze your opponent active Pokemon if you stack with the Dratini in the front. 1 Dragonair with the Twister. And then 3 copies of a Dragonite GX and 2 copies of Fast Call Dragonites, which will allow me to search my deck for supporter card and put it into my hand if I need it. Then moving on to the other cards, I'm running 1 Latias with a Dragon Split, because I can hit for 50 for each Evolution Dragon Pokemon that I have in play. So theoretically I can go for 250 for just a single double Chorus Energy. That's insane. And then 4 copies of Jirachi, Stellar Wish, so we can have that fast item setup, or maybe supporter setup in the early stage of the game if we miss one. Moving on to the item cards, I decided to run 1 energy recycle system, 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher and 1 copy of Pelpat, so I can recycle supporters, Pokemons and energies back from my discard pile into my deck. Definitely good option to have all of these options. Also 4 copies of Mystery Treasure and 4 copies of Ultra Ball for the additional setup. Always good to have, as well as 4 copies of Rare Candy. And then in addition to that, from Stadium, I decided to go with Radiant Forest, so I can basically search my deck for either way Water or Lighting Energy if I need it at a specific time when that moment comes. For the draw support, 8 draw supporters, 4 Cynthias, 2 Erika's Hospitalities, and 2 copies of Lily. Supporters, 1 Cyrus and 1 copy of Lance. Both of them can definitely be useful. 3 copies of Guzma as well, and then I'm running also 3 copies of a Skateboard, so I can have a retreat with my Jirachi, or maybe with Latias if I start with him, or maybe even with Dratini. Maybe not, because it's a 2 retreat cost. And also 12 energies in total, 4 copies of Lighting, 3 copies of Water, and then 4 DCE and 1 Super Boost Energy, which can perfectly fit in this deck, especially with Lance combo. If our opponents manage to knock any of our Pokemon, we can simply play Lance, put 2 Dragon Stage 2 Pokemon on the bench, and then we can simply have very, very close that Super Boost Energy with 3 Stage 2 Pokemon in play. For 1 energy we can hit for like 200, which is insane. Unfortunately, this deck won't be able to go for the 1-hit knockout versus, for example, Zoroark, for example, tag team Pokemons. And that's the reason why this deck is good, but it's not meant to be a tier deck. But still, you can have a lot of fun with it, which I will definitely preview in the following videos. You're going to see some weaknesses about this deck, you're going to see some advantages of this deck, you're going to see how this deck works in, let's say, perfect scenario, and how this deck works when it bricks. So definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button, like if you already didn't, so you can help me a little bit, maybe even consider sharing this video. And yeah, so let's move on to the gameplay so you can see this deck in action. So see you in the game. Alright, so starting first, let's see. Will there be Jirachi play for me? It will be. Okay, good thing to know that I'm gonna have also a skateboard available and Mystery Treasure for the turn 1. So things looking good here. There's also a Drow supporter, which is a Cynthia. So first things first, let's see what we can get with the Stellar Wish, a Lily, and Ultra Ball. Is it worth to play Ultra Ball in this case? I think it's not. I think it's not, so we're just gonna discard this Ultra Ball for that Dratini, and after that, Double Course Energy Attachment, Cynthia play into hopefully another Jirachi for another Stellar Wish. Yep. Okay. Rare Candy Ultra Ball. I think I'm gonna go with Ultra Ball. The biggest concern for me is the fact that I need to throw 2 energy cards into my discard pile, but I'm gonna do it. Or maybe I should go with Cynthia? Nah, let's rather go with 2 energies. We can recycle them back easily with energy recycle system, and it is in my deck, so that's the good thing to know. Alright, I think I managed to set up properly here, so I'm not gonna cry for sure. I managed even to wake up, but it doesn't matter too much, only if I want to retreat. But I can retreat, I guess, for free as long as I have my escape board. So there's a Swabble on the other side of the field, which basically means that my opponent plays Altaria with Executor, and he plays the Dragon one. So I can also expect to see a Lance from the other side of the field as well. One Shackle, so he can fresh squeeze 3 energies from deck into his discard pile. Alright, Water, Fairy, and Fire. Discarded in this case. There's a Sightseer, which is also a very good supporter card for this type of the deck, because you can throw out even more resources from your hand in order to draw more cards, so theoretically you can discard energy cards. Alright, so going with the Cynthia before I decide to go with the Stellar Wish. One Rare Candy is the way to go, and I did find one. It is a slow build up here, but it is how it is. At least I have one dragon in play right now. Unfortunately, I cannot retreat, and that's the bad thing. But I can, for example, fast call maybe for potentially Guzma next turn. Let's say, if my Jirachi would be knocked out, I can always play Guzma if I need it. But I'm probably not going to need it. I'm probably just going to need Lance if I take the knockout there. Alright, so there's Altaria with Fight Song. So, yeah. And the Tropical Shake Executor with 160 HP. Not an easy target here for sure. I have option to go with Lance if I want, which is actually not that bad option if I consider the fact that I also have Radiant Forest in play, and then I can grab myself energy of any type that I need. And Cynthia, so my Dragonite won't be knocked out, and that's the most important thing. However, I can maybe skip for now that... Should I skip for now? I think I should actually skip for now Lance. It's not that I need so many dragons for now in play. I'm probably gonna skip that. Yeah, we can skip that. And just try to find... I mean, if the Ultra Ball is a top deck, or maybe not Ultra Ball, if I can find Mr. Treasure or Ultra Ball for Dragonite GX, then I'm probably gonna consider going with Lance. Another Jirachi. And what about Stellar Wish? Ah, Mr. Treasure. Okay, fair enough. Then I guess I'm gonna Mr. Treasure my Lily into the Dragonite GX. And I can retreat. Actually, before I decide to retreat, let's play Cynthia and see what do we have here. Only one water energy. Whew. That's so close. I don't even know how to explain that. It was very close. Yeah, I think I can go right now with the lens. I can set another potentially dragon in play. Why not if I can? Free Dragonite GX on the bench, always welcome. Retreat into... Oof, I almost clicked on that Jirachi. That would be disaster. Giga Impact for 200. And I think the game is over right now. It should be game over right now. I mean, it's probably... He probably won't concede at this moment or scoop. Still, he's playing just, you know, one prize deck versus two prize card decks. And I need to be very, very, very consistent with the Guzma play from each single turn. I will probably have Guzma every single turn that I will need it. I mean, I can play Guzma every turn as long as I have my fast call Dragonite, so I guess I don't need to worry too much. I can knock all of his executes before he manages even to set them out in play. But if he can find two of them at the same time, then he will have one executor sooner or later in play. Even Lance can work perfectly fine for my opponent, especially because he's playing Dragon Executor, so it can work for sure. Rescue Stretcher for another execute. Okay. No, he decided to shuffle them back. So he have plenty of different energies. This let loose actually won't hurt me too much. It will actually help me a little bit. Maybe I can find another Rare Candy Dragonite combo. As for example, I do have Rare Candy, so only thing that I need is another Dragonite, which I can probably get with my Stellar Wish. So, following turn, energy attachment onto another Dragonite GX. He decided to throw energy for another energy. Probably so he can have greater chance to pull something that he needs. Attach to basic energy from this opponent to your Pokemon any way you like. Okay, I like this turn. Well played. It's a decent turn. So he can attach to each of his executes energy. What a play. Didn't even notice that. Okay, so we are ready for the fast call into the Guzma. This deck actually has a lot of options. It's very flexible. And right now you can actually see how it works as it should. I guess I can throw this Viridian Force from my hand. No energies. You gotta be kidding me. Where are my energy cards? Still, I can Stellar Wish into Mystery Treasure, and then I can Mystery Treasure my Cynthia into the Dragonite GX, so I can have 3 Dragonite GX in play. It's easier than ever before to have so many dragons in play. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous how easy it is to set those Dragonites in play. And I can even knock my opponent with my Dragon's Claw, so I don't even waste my Giga Impact. There's no point in doing that. So, I managed to strike for like 70, which is enough for the knockout versus executes. And I'm down to like 4 prize cards. Whew. I have like 4 dragons in play, and what my opponent decided to do, he just decided to concede because there's no point of playing versus 250 HP Pokemon that can simply go for like 200 from each single turn to turn. And that's the GG MVP Dragonite GX, as you would expect. Alright, so we have Dragonite GX deck on today's video, so it's gonna be very interesting to play with this deck, that's for sure. I kind of like it. Jirachi and Lance definitely puts this deck in a comfortable zone. You can definitely have good powerful setup with those 2 cards. And looks like I'm gonna play probably versus Gyarados, which is gonna be, I should say, maybe a little bit tricky. But hey, it is how it is. So, turn 1, no Drow supporter play, which is really bad. So Magikarp, enter the Dragon, flip a coin if heads, put a card. Okay, so you can evolve basically into Gyarados. I still prefer another Magikarp over the this one, mainly because you can prevent your opponent from spreading damage to your Gyarados. Actually, Magikarp on the bench, in my opinion, it's better. Alright, so that's a quick switch onto Vulpix for that quick beacon. I'm gonna have Dragonite GX and play turn 2, which is amazing. Basically meaning that with Dragonite GX in the early stage of the game, I can start to taking pressure against my opponent, which I probably will do. I mean, I will probably just retreat my Jirachi into Dragonite and take the first prize card in the game. But what I'm gonna do after that is a very good question. So I'm not gonna be able to go for the one-hit knockout versus my opponent Gyarados, which is the scariest thing here. I made this deck basically to be a double hit deck, not a one-hit knockout deck. Unfortunately, I guess I could try to put some choice bands so I can go for like 230. Being able to go for 230 would be enough for the one-hit knockout versus, oh, interesting, versus some decks like alright, let's go with the Stellar Wish because we have Cynthia. Nothing. Wow, interesting. I need a skateboard, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to retreat, and that actually happened right now, so I'm looking for Dragonite as it looks right now, or maybe, do I have Lance?
Are you listening?
Unfortunately, Lance is priced, so that's a very bad sign. But there's like 3 rare candies, so I think I'm just gonna grab myself Dragonite for next turn so I can attack with Dragonite. And I can have backup Dragonite just in case. More than that. Okay, so even Super Boost Energy is priced as well. Fair enough, I guess. Still, if my opponent wants to attack, he will need a switch as well. And meanwhile, I can maybe find Guzma, so I can potentially swing for 200 Giga Impact, knocking one of those two Gyarados. But he actually did me a favor there by putting Ninetales GX in play, which I kind of like to see, mainly because I can hit for 200 and take 2 prize cards, which is a good thing. Gyarados can go for like 30, 240. 240 at max without choice bands, so still not enough for the one-hit knockout versus Dragonite, so thumbs up for that. I can somehow barely survive 7 energy flow from Gyarados, the Stilted Blast. So another Crusher Wake means that probably this turn I'm not going to be knocked out if there's not going to be some sort of switch energy play. I can't see these 2 cards, unfortunately, so Energy Recycle System. Alright, for 7 energies, he can recycle only 5 of them. So I wake up somehow, and I top deck Ultra Ball. Before I play Ultra Ball, I will try to get that escape board, and I finally managed to get it. So I can switch my Jirachi into the Dragonite. And more than that, let's go with the Cynthia for now, leaving those Ultra Balls and energies, and we're just gonna try to get with Mystery Treasure for Ultra Ball, maybe another Dratini as it looks, or maybe I can go for, yeah, I'm gonna go for Dratini right now, so I can have 3 of them. We'll also remove his Stadium from play. I can retreat onto my Dragonite. and I can swing for 200, which should be enough for the one-hit knockout against this Ninetales. So I'm 2 prize cards ahead of my opponent, and if I get lucky with maybe Lens, if I get knockout, I can still grab 2 dragons and put them on my bench with my Lens, which is a very good thing. So, there we go with the Gyarados. The question still remains, can he go for the one-hit knockout versus my Dragonite? If not, I mean, the bad thing is that I can't attack with my Giga Impact next turn, so I need some sort of, let's say Guzma play, but even if I can find Guzma, I can't do too much anyways. I took 2 prize cards, so that's at least something. Probably this 5 energies, maybe even more. Okay, so only 5, so that's like 180. Next turn my Dragonite is knocked out, that's for sure. I need to find a way somehow to do something out here. I can theoretically steal the show with my Latias. Ooh, so I can hit for like 100. But I need to pay 3 retreat cost, which is a lot. Is it worth to discard so many resources? I was short for like 1 more dragon. I definitely need to retreat because otherwise I'm gonna be knocked out anyways. And I will assume that my opponent does not play Guzma. I mean, he definitely plays Guzma, but I will hope that he don't have Guzma. And I'm just gonna grab another Guzma for me for the next turn. Alright, so that's gonna be it for now. I guess I can attach energy somewhere, so why not to Latias and pass my turn. I didn't wake up. It doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna be knocked out probably anyways. 2 energies from 7 cards needs to be at my opponent top deck in order to knock my Jirachi out for the 1 prize only. So bad thing about Gyarados is definitely how to find Counter Catcher or Guzma. This is the biggest problem for those decks. 180 damage on the other side on Dragon. Oh, he have Guzma in his hand. Alright, so Dragonite would be knocked out, or maybe even Latias. No, he decided to go for 2 prize swing. Alright, so how many energies? 4 of them. Alright, I think it's still not time for the Lens. I mean, it's not for sure. I need Dragonite top deck so badly. I couldn't get one, so I guess energy recycle system can work. Yep, we're gonna recycle some of the energies back into the deck. More than that, I can play Lance, I guess, but that's it. And still I can't go for the 1-hit knockout, so I guess that's just not good. And there's a glitch with energy recycle system once again. So what about just... triple Guzma? I mean, I can take the knockout, but still... that's not what I'm looking for. Let's go with the Cynthia and see if we can find maybe a couple Dragonites, for example. So we're gonna go with this play, and then obviously Mystery Treasure for Jirachi, so I can grab another Dragonite, this time Dragonite GX. And right now I actually have again only 2 evolution Pokemons in play, which means I can swing only for like 100, and I'm gonna risk with the Stellar Wish. Next turn for maybe Erika's Hospitality, but I'm probably not gonna need it. I don't know what is the chance for my opponent that he have another Guzma available for another knockout. I hope that he don't have it, mainly because I want to take the knockout versus Gyarados, not the double hit knockout, and still trade price for 2 prize cards in theory. I think maybe next turn taking the risk, knocking this Magikarp with my Dragonite would be probably the best possible scenario, but... then again, I missed knockout with my Latias turn before, so I'm not sure. Oh, 6 energies. That's a lot of energy cards. So I'm gonna need literally Guzma here, and I can go with the Lance right now if I want immediately, and then I can knock these Gyarados out. But I personally think this is not a good idea, not at all. How much he can swing for, like 120, so yeah, it's definitely a bad idea. Since he have Magikarp, I need to do that, unfortunately. So Stellar Wish for Guzma. I'm swinging for 70. I can grab with the fast call another draw supporter or any type of supporter like Lily. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go with Ultra Ball for another Dratini. Oh, I don't have... this is not looking good. This is definitely not looking good. Alright, at least we can swing for 70, but that's not what we're looking for. Oh, there's Dratini. Alright. Next turn I can play Guzma, but the problem is that still I can go for like 100, so I'm hoping that my opponent will misplay and put another Magikarp on the bench or any type of Pokemon, so I can go with my Dragon's Fleet for the knockout, which is going to be very crucial in this case. Otherwise I'm going to lose the game. Okay, so there's a Rescue Stretcher, so it might be for the Magikarp. It's always hard to play versus Gyarados. Simply it is. So oh, he actually do me a favor there, alright. So triple setup. Are we gonna see triple setup? We're probably gonna see triple setup. As long as I can avoid one hit knockout, that's okay. So without Choice Band, he can go for like 240 and that's it. Nah, he didn't actually decide to put Pokemon on the bench. And I guess I can go for the knockout and hit for 200. And that's what it is. I mean, I need to swing for 200. Do I literally have other option there? I guess I don't. So still I can go with the fast call for some sort of maybe Guzma play. But what about it? Can I benefit from it? I think I can't. Still I have only 2 Pokemon, 2 Dragon Pokemon, Evolution Pokemons in play. But I can grab it. I can grab it, so I can have it. But I actually realized that Cynthia or actually Lily would be much better right now when I think twice. So we can potentially go with Guzma on Jirachi, Stellar Wish, and then retreat into the knockout. Yeah, I guess we can try to do that. Lance is still in my hand, so that's a good thing. What about Rare Candy? The biggest problem is that after this swing, my opponent is taking like double price card and that's it. So I don't think I can actually win this game anymore. I'm gonna pass turn. I'm gonna hope that he don't have actually some sort of Guzma play. And then I can still somehow try to win a game. Otherwise, it's a GG. So Viridian Forest for energy. He took one into his hand. There's a Crusher Wake, so he's maybe looking for that Guzma for the following turn, so he can have the game in his hand. Alright, so basically maybe even... So yeah, I discarded actually the last Jirachi, which was stupid play from me. So Lance Actually, Cyrus would be very nice right now if I have one. Dragonite, nice. Unfortunately, the bad one. But I can go for like 150, and that's a good thing. Speaking about good things, let's go with the Lily. Yeah, ready for energy attachment. Onto my Dragonite. Still, I can go for just like 120. Yeah, with Ultra Ball I can't do nothing, so at least I can swing for like... Yeah, I can go another Fast Call for another round with Cynthia. I needed this Rescue Stretcher, but I couldn't get it, so... At least I can swing for 150, right? And then there's like 2 Gyarados on my opponent's side of the field, and he have like plenty of other energies left, so there's a Guzma for the win. Well played. So only Cyrus would help me in this case if I had it, so I could just with Jirachi play Cyrus, retreat onto Dragonite, and knock my opponent Gyarados for the win, but unfortunately I couldn't get it, it was prized, so that is a GG. Alright, so waiting my opponent for the coin flip, and then we can see who's gonna start first. Oh, probably I'm gonna start second, which is not a good thing with stage 2 deck. However, as long as I can start the game with Jirachi, that's perfectly fine. So, starting with Jirachi, and I have Lance available, so this is gonna be very powerful turn 2 for me if I take the knockout versus my opponent Pokemon, if my Jirachi will be knocked out, so I can swing hard turn 2, that's for sure. I really like this Lance. Lance Prism is probably the best Prism supporter that they actually printed. Okay, I mean, we're also gonna agree that Cyrus is also a very good deck. It also fits good in this build. And in my opinion, Cyrus can be taking any deck that run Jirachi. So if you just wonder how you can have possibly good matchup versus deck like, for example, how you can have good matchup versus Zoroark deck with Jirachi Zapdos, just take one Cyrus and you can have much better setup in my opinion. Alright, so we have Lily here, and we're actually gonna need Lily there. Okay, so Ultra Ball for something like Ultra Ball and then Viridian Forest, so I can grab myself Dratini, and then I can play other Ultra Ball if I want, but then I need to throw my Lance, and that's just unacceptable. Alright, this looks much better. I can Ultra Ball theoretically for maybe for one Dragonite and maybe for other lighting energies, so I can grab myself another Dratini. And then I'm counting on the knockout, so that's the reason why I'm gonna put another Jirachi on the bench, and I'm gonna pass the turn after that. As it looks right now, if my opponent take the knockout versus my Jirachi turn 2, then I can put my Dragonite GX ×2 in play. And we might even see Guzma there. We're probably gonna see Guzma there, and that's the worst possible scenario for me because my Latios would be knocked out, and this is not the way to go. This is definitely not the way to go. I lost my Latios, which was probably the best counter-attacker for this Pika Zekrom deck. It is how it is. It could be even worse. I have Guzma to respond, but there's nothing I can do with it. Mr. Treasure Rare Candy. Alright, I guess I can grab myself one Rare Candy and put one of my Dragonites in play. At least that's something, right? And more than that, I can attach energy. And I can go with the lens, so I can put 2 more dragons in play, or I can play Guzma and swing potentially maybe for 70 dead Zekrom on the bench, which is not a bad option at all, especially because he can then Tag Ball GX in theory. So I have 2 options available, and it's really hard for me to tell which one I should do. I guess I'm gonna go with the lens for now, so I'm gonna go with the lens for now. Alright. And I can go also with the fast call, which means I can grab also another supporter card, so let it be Cynthia for the next turn. Okie dokie, that's it. I mean, turn 2, when Zekrom strike turn 2 for like full blitz, it's really hard to win. It is, especially when he swing and when he knocks your Latias with the Dragon's Fleet out. Then it's just impossible, in my opinion, to keep going on. I'm gonna try to do my best, but it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be super, super hard for me to beat this Pika Zekrom as it looks right now from this point of view, when he already have 2 of them ready for the knockout, and maybe he can just retreat on the Zapdos and take the knockout versus my Jirachi next turn, which is even possibility there. If he decide to do that, I can probably go with the Guzma, targeting one of those Pika Zekroms. It's probably the best way to go. Meanwhile, trying to charge up another Dragonite. He rather decided to go with the full blitz instead. I'm gonna risk with Jirachi, trying to maybe get... Actually, it's not worth when I think a little bit better. But if I decide to hit this Zekrom on the bench for like 70, I just need somehow to... Okay, we can work with this escape board. So yeah, I definitely need to apply some pressure to him. There's literally not too many options for me available as it looks. But he built up much better and greater position than I did. So yeah, he's ready maybe even for the knockout there. And it's gonna be really hard. It is really hard as it looks right now. I mean, I managed to set up properly, strong, fast enough. But still it was not enough. Still it was not enough. So I'm taking 230 here and probably 170 here. Maybe even knockout here and maybe knockout against this Dragonite. Super boost energy if my opponent missed knockout is the only way to go, but he managed to find electro power in addition to that, so there's also let loose, which doesn't matter too much because the game is over. Oof, this deck team, Zekrom and Pikachu, just way too much for this deck as it looks. The best thing I can do, interesting. He rather decided to take knockout versus 2 dragons instead of the 1. Okay, it makes sense. Because I can't use my super boost energy instead. Good play. Definitely good play. With the Stellar Wish, maybe Rare Candy, maybe not. Yeah, definitely taking this Viridian Forest, it's enough pressure from this annoying Thunder Mountain. I guess I need to attach energy, but it doesn't matter too much. Rescue Stretcher, folks, for Dragonite, Dratini, and let it be another Dragonite as well. And I'm ready to go with Jirachi for the bench and with one Cynthia. I have Dragonite, and I can only retreat and strike for 70 more. But my opponent has way too many resources available that he probably have enough for the knockout. He probably have Guzma in his hand for the win. So if I was maybe able somehow to knock this tag team out, who knows what would happen after that. But still 240, I can't go for 240 with a single shot, it's just impossible. Kukui Choice Band would be optional for that. But I'm not running any of these two. And he have Guzma for the win. Alright, so it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot, so he can even knock me out with the Zapdos for the last prize card. So I was not able to do anything here. Literally, he set up so fast that it was just way too hard for me. Basically for anything. So he played like 3 Picasacrum GXs. Interesting. Well, interesting. Also Licia as well. And plenty of energy cards. What? 15 energies in total. Well, that's insane. And that's also a GG. Alright, so can we do maybe something better in this game? Let's see. So that Picasacrum actually kicked my ass. It was such a fast game from the other side of the field. I mean, if my opponent in theory was not able to knock my Latias at the beginning of the game, who knows what would happen. That turn 1 was just... turn 2 was just too much for me, I guess. Oh, so, okay, I'm gonna play versus... Oh, this is gonna be such an interesting game. Versus Metagross. 250 versus 250. Both stage 2, but I have Cyrus. So I'm hoping that Cyrus will give me the edge against my opponent. I think Cyrus in this game can actually shine perfect. So we're gonna see top load turn 1 for Lily probably, for 4 extra cards, maybe for even a little bit more, especially if he has something else. No, he decided rather to go with the Cynthia instead of the Lily. I would probably prefer to go with Lily instead. Yeah, especially after these 2 choice band plays. I'm weak to Fairy, so that's okay. There's an S-Ball, probably for another Beldum. I'm gonna wait for my opponent to set 5 Pokemons on the bench. And potentially GXs, and then I can strike him hard with my Cyrus. As it looks right now, I'm gonna go with 1 Cynthia play. Also gonna put that Viridian Forest. Gonna get rid of 1 Viridian Forest. We have Rescue Stretcher, that's a good thing. Alright, Cynthia. Gonna keep another Viridian Forest just in case. I'm not sure which type of the deck my opponent is playing. Damn it. Damn it, that's all I'm gonna say. Damn it. Not even worth to bother trying to paralyze my opponent there, so... I should go for another Jirachi instead of the Dratini. I'm running 4 Ultra Balls and 4 Mystery Treasures, and unfortunately I was not able to get none of these 2 cards. So rest of the game is going to be very painful. I can already see that coming, especially if he knocks my Jirachi this turn. But since he Pokemon Communication for Metang, maybe I can avoid that threat. And also energy attached to Metang, so I guess I'm going to be perfectly fine for now. Core Beam for 20, and that's it. So he also pricked. Basically meaning that we can still wish into other Cynthia. As it looks, I definitely need to go for it. Energy for another Dratini and Cynthia. Hopefully into another Jirachi at least. and maybe possibly rare candy combo play, which is for now not gonna happen. I can still retreat into another Jirachi and potentially grab that rare candy, which I will get. But it's actually not worth to play it right now, because I already attached 2 energies to my Dratinis, and I feel how I should actually evolve this Dratini without energy into Dragonite, because hitting for 120 with this Dragonite, it's not optional for me. So he passes the turn. Alright. Good for me. I guess it is. I can't do too much. I can Stellar Wish, and I can go for... Oh, actually, I can go for my other Stellar Wish in this case. Which I will do for sure. And then I'm gonna go with my Fast Call. Actually, let's first go with the Fast Call. And we can go with something like... Erika's Hospitality first. So energy would be attached. Erika's Hospitality. I'm looking for, again, nothing. So I need that rare candy, actually, which I can't get. So many cards in my hand. There's literally nothing I can do with them. So was short for the rare candy. And I already used my Stellar Wish, so I'm passing my turn. That's pretty much it. Again, I have decent option to and decent chance to pull rare candy. So we're going all in here with that Stellar Wish. Still no sign of the rare candy. Well, that's impressed. I can try to thin my deck a little bit, which I will definitely do. Worst possible thing, I can grab that Latios. I can put him on the bench as well. So I'm retreating into my Jirachi. Before Stellar Wish, we're gonna go with a Fast Call for that Cynthia. So we can have one less card in our deck. And I'm even gonna go with this Viridian Forest. Alright, so 2 rare candies, 21 card in my deck, 7, actually 5 of them with the Stellar Wish. So can I find rare candy? Not even close. Not even close, which basically means that I'm gonna go with my... First one, Ultra Ball for this Dragonite, and let it be 1 Guzma. Not even Dragonire. Then I'm going to play Cynthia. Okay. Once again, no sign of the rare candy. What a weird game for both of us. We both struggled to set up, and this Dratini is in a very bad spot. If my opponent somehow managed to Guzma my Dratini, the game is over. I mean, I'm gonna be in such a huge disadvantage after that. So he traded energy for another energy, which might even come to topple GX. So probably his top deck was energy card. I would expect to see that. So I wake up. I just need rare candy once again. Will I be able to get one? No sign of it again. And right now it's perfect time to remove also that Lily from my hand, which I'm not gonna need. Ha, not even close. Not even close, but I can play potentially Erika's Hospitality after energy attachment. So I will go with that call. So Viridian Forest for Cynthia, which basically means that I'm not gonna get energy. Then I'm gonna go with a Ultra Ball, which needs to be for one Dragonite, and let's say for one. If I discard that energy, I will have like 1, 2, 3, 4 cards remaining. Yeah, okay. Ultra Ball for nothing. Finally rare candy. Finally, it took me so long for that rare candy play. And I'm not gonna need this Dratini as well. Just thinning my deck as much as possible so I can draw that last rare candy. And for now, I'm gonna go with a fast call, getting this Guzma in action for the following turn. And more than that, I'm passing my turn. I can attach energy somewhere, but it's not gonna be attached anywhere, that's for sure. Alright, so we pass the turn. Whew, what a bad game this is. I go literally through a hole of my deck. I have like energy recycle system available, super boost energy as well. Plenty of Guzmas left. Actually, not plenty, just 2 Guzmas remaining. As it looks right now, Rescue Stretcher needs to be for all 3 Dragonites, and it will be. First, Stellar Wish. Lance. Nah, I guess I'm gonna grab that Viridian Forest. And look at this play right now. So we're gonna go with a fast call for another Guzma. I don't know why in the first place I didn't go for that Guzma. And I have like 7 cards remaining, which basically means that with this Stellar Wish I have very decent chance to pull rare candy, and I still didn't get one, which is quite impressed. Alright, as it looks right now, so there's literally not too many options available. I definitely need to go for the knockout here. And this will be the knockout with my Giga Impact for 200. I managed to take first prize card in the game, so 2 actually. Rare candy finally, and another Jirachi. So 1 rare candy was prized, I already used 2 of them, and 1 is remaining in my deck. I have like 1 more Guzma remaining, so in theory I can also attack next turn, potentially with this Latios, maybe even with something else. It's really hard for my opponent right now to decide which Pokemon will be promoted in the front, mainly because he didn't have great setup, but he can maybe at least ram for like 50, so why not if you can. And I think my biggest problem might be this Cosmog on the bench, so maybe it's worth to go for him. Field Blower, so I'm gonna lose both escape boards. Luckily I have 1 more left. And I'm very limited with my resources right now, but at least I can buy myself 6 turns with Energy Recycle System and with the Rescue Stretcher, so that can be very useful. But such a shame that my opponent couldn't get Drow Supporter, so this game can be a little bit more interesting to watch. Yeah, Solgaleo can actually go for 30. So ram for 50. Okay, so right now I'm shuffling back 3 dragons, 3 Dragonites. And then I'm playing my Mystery Treasure for that Viridian Forest, so I can grab myself a Dragonite GX. And right now I have 3 dragons in play. With the Guzma, I can definitely go for that Cosmog on the bench, hit him for 70. Meanwhile, double Course Energy can go to Latias, and I can Dragon Claw for the knockout. So I'm down to like, right now, 3 prize cards. And it's a very good spot for me right now. So again, he decided to promote my tank. I have 0 Guzmas remaining, so no more Guzmas for me. All 3 Guzmas has been used. I have 3 prize cards advantage over my opponent. There's another energy attached, and unfortunately for him, another Ram. Which means that in order for the knockout there, I'm gonna need to use my Super Boost energy, which I kinda hate to do. I have Cyrus, but not gonna help me too much. So I guess I can put my... Nah, not gonna do that. Yeah, I need to use my Super Boost energy, I guess. If I want to take the knockout there, I definitely need to go with it. So Giga Impact for the knockout, and right now I have 2 prize cards remaining. Double Course Energy, okay. Which I can use next turn for the knockout, for the retreat, if I want, and if I need. But I think I'm not gonna do that, or maybe I will. So just another Core Beam. Ugh, that was actually a disaster game for both of us. You guys are gonna definitely agree that this game was unfortunately a disaster for my opponent, and I can't even take a closer look at his deck, unfortunately, because he didn't expose it publicly. I would definitely want to go through it so I can see how many Drought supporters he played. But yeah, I definitely had a good luck with my Dragonite GX, so that's a GG.
Visit ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Another video. In today's video, I decided to build up Gengar Mimikyu GX deck with Omastar, so this is gonna be a item lock deck. So if you're not familiar with the Omastar Fossil Bind, it says that as long as you have favorite Pokemon in play, then your opponent, they can't play any item cards from their hand. 130 HP Pokemon that will evolve with the rare candy rapidly from unidentified fossil, and that's the part of this deck. Another card features this deck is Gengar Mimikyu GX, and he is our main attacker with 240 HP. Tag Team Pokemon with a 3 prize card rule. It says that with Horror House GX, with 1 energy card, for example, at our turn 1, we can we can force our opponent that he won't be able to play any card from his hand during the next turn. If Horror House GX actually has 2 energies, then both players will draw cards until they have 7. Poltergeist, on the other side, hits for 50 times the amount of trainer cards than we find in our opponent's hand. And that's it. This Pokemon has actually weakness to Zoroarks, so that's the reason why I also decided to go with 1 weakness policy, just in case. I decided to go with Jirachi also in this build, mainly because with Stellar Wish I can try to get my cards much faster when I will need them. And there's a lot of cards that I can potentially need with Jirachi, like for example Rare Candy, maybe even a Peking Red card, maybe Guzma or something like that, so being able to use Jirachi or start with him will also be very nice. It's not that you actually need to play Jirachi, you can also play maybe some other cards instead of it, but I actually decided to give it a chance. And 3 Gengar Mimikyus, so not too many Pokemons, 9 of them, 2 Omastars, 4 Jirachis, and 3 Gengar Mimikyus. The only reason why I'm running 3 of them is just because this one is prized and I don't have Rescue Stretcher. I'm not going to be able to recover another one. That's pretty much it. Moving on to the item cards, there's a plenty of good cards that can actually help us to drop some cards, like for example Acrobike and Judge Whistle. There are also 2 Fossil Excavator maps, which will help us to grab that unidentified fossil from discard pile or from our deck, and then we can put it on the bench. 4 order pads, flip a coin if heads, search your deck for item card, put it into your hand. Very good because with order pad and with heads on the coin flip we can pretty much get rare candy, which is very important. 2 Peking Red cards, 3 copies of Rare Candy. I also decided to go with 2 copies of Switch cards as well as 4 copies of Ultra Ball, 3 unidentified fossils, 1 of each Altar of the Moon and Lavender Town, which can help us to see what type of the cards our opponent have in their hand, and then we can decide if we want to go maybe with the Peking Red card, if we maybe want to go with the Judge, or maybe just leave our pawn in hand and use Poltergeist. 3 escape boards and 1 weakness policy for a much easier retreat with that Jirachi. Plenty of supporter cards, or maybe not too many, depending how you look. 5 different supporter cards. Bill Analyze, very good card for this build, as well as 1 Cynthia, 2 copies of Guzma, 1 Judge, and 4 copies of Lily, featuring 8 Psychic Energies. And this is the deck list that I'm going to use in today's video. Really interesting deck. Also, very powerful deck if you can set up properly and lock your opponent at your stage 2. I can definitely tell you that. So let's move on to the game test so you can see this deck in action. So see you in the game. Alright, so we really don't need too much to item lock our opponent. Basically, Omastar and Gengar in play, that's pretty much it. So looking at my opening hand, it's good. It is definitely good. I'm starting with Jirachi. I have energy for my Gengar, and more than that, there's also Acrobike available, so I can draw some extra cards. I have a skateboard, which means I can retreat into another Jirachi. There's Autopad in my hand as well. Theoretically, I can have a very explosive turn 2 if the things will go as expected. And Viridian Forest as well. Alright. So first Ultra Ball from my opponent's side of the field. Maybe finding another Jirachi wouldn't be that bad, mainly because I can then have 2 of them, so I can retreat between them and use advantage of Stellar Wishes. That's really something you want to have. More than that, on the other side I also need that Gengar as well, but I also need to set my Omastar in play, so I don't want to put too many Pokemons on my bench, because if I do that, then my opponent might have less Pokemon than I will, and then I can't use my ability to prevent him from playing item cards. Okay, so he actually decided to discard Jirachi. That's really interesting. I wish he didn't do that. Maybe he don't want to put too many Pokemons on the bench. And we might see Tapu Lele actually with this mystery treasure for Lily, up to 8, or he actually have Lily in his hand available. There's like 100% Lily in his hand. So first Stellar Wish. Alright, interesting. Nothing useful, I guess. Inkay and Cynthia actually, so he had Cynthia instead. Alright, I would personally go first with the Cynthia, then with the Stellar Wish. Alright, cool, there's Necrozma with Metal Energy. And he managed to wake up. Alright, let's go with 1 Excavator Kit for that fossil. Not too many fossils available for me, unfortunately. I think I can go with the Judge Whistle, and I can draw a card. Omastar, pretty cool. Another Judge Whistle, maybe for Gengar, possibly. Nope, just another Judge Whistle. Another Omastar. Alright, interesting. 1 Autopad, definitely. For some sort of it can be actually rare candy. It needs to be actually rare candy. I'm gonna go with my Bill Analyze, another Autopad, and I don't need rare candy for sure, but I can guess go with... I think I can go with Lily for the following turn. I hope I'm just not gonna brick. Acrobike. I'm gonna go with Cynthia. And right now I need to play Ultra Ball. So I need to throw 2 cards from my hand. So I guess Omastar and let it be Lily in this case. In exchange for my Gengar and Mimikyu. Energy attachment. Can we use... Your opponent can play any cards from their hand during their next turn. I think I'm actually gonna go with Horror GX, for sure. Meanwhile, Autopad... nothing. Maybe another Autopad. And I think I can grab myself maybe Peeking Red card. So I can potentially see what he have in his hand. Yeah, I'm actually gonna force him to... Wait. Your opponent revealed their hand, you might have your opponent counted cards. Okay, so he decided to actually shuffle all of them. Alright, so that was my mistake. I think I can work with Guzma potentially for the upcoming turn. And for now, I'm ready for that GX attack actually. Alright. I will try to knock this Necrozma next turn possibly with that Guzma play. More than that, that's it for now. Turn 1 was, I can say, successful turn. Potentially he can use Stellar Wish and maybe grab another item card or trainer card in his hand. He actually decided to throw one of the trainer cards with his Stadium. So my Poltergeist, I'm doing 50 damage for each trainer card in my opponent's hand. So not for the item card, but actually for trainer card. And it's very powerful, I mean, really it is. So Mystery Treasure, but he can't play it, and he have right now 6 cards. One of those cards is actually Energy. Very nice top deck. There we go. Energy attachment. Guzma down to Necrozma. Quite obvious. I'm gonna put my Jirachi in front and we'll try to use advantage of that Stellar Wish into another Guzma potentially for the following turn. And I don't need anything else to do. I just need to use my Poltergeist and hope that he have like 4 trainer cards in his hand. Yep, he have 5 of them, so that's 250. That's the one-hit knockout, and I'm taking first 2 prize cards in the game. Jirachi and another Fossil card. Really good. Big problem for my opponent is the moment he put Pokemon on the bench, he won't be able to play any trainer card. Because again, he will be item locked. And that's the really bad thing for him, right? So there's a Mr. Treasure. I didn't pay too much attention for the cards that he have in his hand. I know that he have like 2 Guzmas. So he can't unfortunately waste all 2 Guzmas, right? And there's like Malamar, he can always try to go and do something with the Stellar Wish. So far I did a good job, and I think that this game is probably going into my favor. It's really hard for the one-hit knockout Gengar Mimikyu, it's a 240 HP Pokemon. Unfortunately, he will need like not too many energies actually on Necrozma. Actually, 3 Psychics should be enough. But then again, you need to have 3 Malamars in play, right? Again, I can Poltergeist, take another knockout versus Jirachi, which I will probably decide to do. Okay, so he Ultra Balled both Guzmas. Quite interesting. For another Malamar. Definitely you want to waste all of your training cards from your hand, because you really don't want to let your opponent use Poltergeist. However, I can still try to find another... Oh, he played Cynthia. So he might just completely brick if he draw a couple more supporter cards with that Cynthia. If he puts Necrozma on bench, or maybe Marshadow. I will definitely try to Guzma again. That GX on the bench, no doubt about it. For him right now, the best thing is possibly to find, if it's somehow possible, obviously, Giratina. Because Giratina can actually hit for a decent amount of damage. It can go for like 130, which is not bad. So there's a Nazball. It might be for Giratina, it might be for something else. Nope, for nothing. Just burning his trainer cards. He decided to pass the turn after that. Alright, so meanwhile, I guess I'm fine with all of these cards for now. I'm just gonna go with a Cynthia, maybe trying to prepare another Gengar Mimikyu. I'm gonna use my Lavender Town so I can see what he have in his hand. One switch and Jinx. So I don't even have enough for the knockout in this case, but he's not even nothing better, right? He's not too much better than I am, so I guess I can then just go with another Poltergeist for just 30. So he somehow actually managed to survive this third, but he threw out a lot of resources, to be honest. And meanwhile, I decided to prepare another Gengar Mimikyu for the following turn. So Lavender Town actually helped me a little bit. Oh, Lily. But yeah, he can probably put Jinx on the bench, attach energy, and then just go with a Lily. At least he have 2 trainer cards right now in his hand. I'm doing good. I guess I'm gonna probably win this game if some sort of miracle doesn't happen on the other side of the field. But for now, I'm actually in a very comfortable zone. I'm in a zone where I'm actually forcing my opponent to play cards from his hand, like energies and Pokemons. Your opponent active Pokemon is now confused. A mysterious dance. For each of your opponent benched Pokemon, put 1 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. Okay, not bad. That mysterious dance. I guess he can put 3 damage counters somewhere, and probably on that. Gengar and Mimikyu. That card definitely needs to be my opponent target, but it's 90 HP Pokemon and it also has weakness. So he played Switch, but still he have that Lily, which he will play right now, and he will draw 3 extra cards. Still I can use the edge of my Lavender Town and see what type of the cards he actually have in his hand. As it looks right now, I'm probably just gonna go with my Lily. Guzma wouldn't be that bad as well. So Dazzle Dance. He actually confused me there. Alright. How many? Cynthia and Guzma. Works good for me, I guess. As long as I can find energy card to attack. But I even have Switch, so I'm just gonna switch actually in this case. Acrobike into the Judge Whistle all night long. Maybe I made a mistake there by not retreating into Jirachi and then attacking, and then using Stellar Wish and then switching. Doesn't matter because I have enough for the knockout, and I'm going down to 3 prize cards. And again, the max damage that actually Ultra Necrozma can do will be like 2 energies, 2 Psychic Energies, 160, 180, 210. So up to 210 he can potentially go. No, not more than that, so not gonna be enough for the one-hit knockout versus my Gengar and Mimikyu. And as it looks right now, I scored 3 goals versus my opponent, so I have 3 prize cards versus 6 prize cards. So I'm doing great. I'm doing definitely great. And I kind of like this Jinx. It's a decent damage spread Pokemon. Rescue Stretcher 4, Necrozma probably. He needs to go for that Necrozma, and I need to find myself a Guzma. And also a couple trainer cards in my opponent's hand. However, I have peeking red cards, so you might your opponent roll their hand, you might have your opponent count the cards in their hand, shuffle those cards into their deck, then draw that many number card. You might have your opponent count the cards. So you have like 3 energies, and this Necrozma will be... Oh, he's going for Omastar? Yes, he's going for it. Omastar actually did a great job there, I'm not gonna lie. He actually did me a favor. here. I'm gonna strike him with the peaking red card probably after I use my Lavender Town to see what type of the cards he actually have. I know that he had one Cynthia in his hand, so that's for sure. Not sure about the rest of the cards. I'm gonna need to find out. So only one Cynthia. Yeah, definitely. Definitely I'm gonna force him to reshuffle his hand. And then I'm gonna put my Fossil in play. And I'm gonna go with one Stellar Wish into the Rare Candy. So I can potentially have another item lock next turn. Or maybe not. Oof. Didn't notice that both Almastars are actually in the trash. Well, there's a good chance that he will have like a lot of trainer cards right now. So 1, 2, 3 trainer cards. 150, not bad. Actually, not that bad. So I strike for like 150, so it's a lot. And then there's another Inkay. He needs to charge up this Necrozma somehow, or he at least needs to apply some pressure to my Gengar, but I think that's it. I think as long as I can knock out... Oh, there's a Guzma for my Jirachi, or maybe another Gengar, so he decided to go for another Gengar. And right now he can actually knock this Gengar out, which is a bad thing. Because he can power up like 2 energies with Malamars, and then he can add 1 energy from his hand, so... Really, really, really close game looks like this is gonna be. He's trying to remove as many trainer cards as he can, but once he knocks me out, he will take 2 prize cards, so potentially he can draw at least 1 trainer card, which should be enough for the knockout. I think he has Cynthia. He has Cynthia actually in his hand, so as long as he have it, I don't need to worry too much. Mr. Treasure discarded for the Psychic Energy. If I was only able to knock this Jirachi out earlier in the game would be over right now, but I need to actually prevent my opponent somehow from taking 3 prize cards here. It's way too hard. I mean, the only card that he will need after that would be either way Rescue Stretcher for that Mars Shadow, so probably I'm gonna lose the game at the end. So yeah, not too many things I can actually do. I can only say to my opponent, well played. Autopad, maybe with the heads, nope. So I guess it's also good time for me right now to get rid of some of the cards from my hand. I don't have Lavender Town. He drew 3 cards. I know that he has Cynthia, so maybe for me the best thing is just to go with the Judge. I know that I made a mistake again, not putting Jirachi in front. Then again, there's a Acrobike. And I'm ready for the Poltergeist. I hope he have at least 1 trainer card. Oh, and there's a Cynthia, but he also have Ultra Necrozma for the win. As long as he can... Actually, no, he can't attach both energies at the same time, so I should be fine. I actually didn't realize that he can't... Oh, if he can find Malamar, then he can have 3 energies, and that's like 240. Yes, that's correct. So he will need that Malamar, actually. It's all about Malamar and Metal Energy, so he will also need Metal Energy, Malamar, and then he can win the game by knocking out my Gengar and Mimikyu. However, still he had that Cynthia available, so it's all about that Cynthia play. But still, even without Guzma, I might not be able to go for the knockout there. I mean, I have 9 cards, so I have good chance to pull Guzma with my Stellar Wish. And there's a Stellar Wish from the other side of the field for Erika's Hospitality, so he can even go with that if he wants, but I will definitely recommend to go with the Cynthia if I was my opponent. No doubt about that. Very close game. It's so intentional till the end. We still don't know who's gonna win. So my opponent needs 2 cards. Specifically, he needs to find himself a Metal Energy or maybe another Stadium, so he can find that energy, but he already has Triverians in discard pile, so it's hard, definitely. He decided to go with Erika's Hospitality instead. Oh boy, so he drew 4 extra cards. If there's no Melamar or Metal Energy, the game is over, unfortunately, because I can go with the Poltergeist, and there's like 10 cards in his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, 8. Oof, he have Ultra Ball. Alright, so that's the first piece of puzzle. He can, I guess, Ultra Ball into the another Melamar, and then the only card that he will need will be Metal Energy card. And I see like only 2 metals in the discard pile. Only 2 Metal Energies in discard pile, so if he have Metal Energy, then the game is over, but if he don't, then I'm actually gonna win. Knocking out Gengar and Mimikyu, you can draw easily 3 prize cards. Oh, he have Metal Energy, so well played. Still, I'm gonna need Guzma. And I'm not quite sure if I will risk trying to find Guzma or not. I guess I can Ultra Ball just to see what I have left. I have Switch as well as Guzma. I have free retreat, literally, so I guess I can risk retreating into my... So with the Guzma, I just need 1 trainer card in my opponent's hand, and I just need to do that. Basically, we are retreating into Jirachi. I guess I don't need that identified fossil. I can discard it, but it doesn't matter too much. I can put another Jirachi in play. I need Stellar Wish, I need Guzma, I have Guzma. And it's basically all about 1 trainer card in my opponent's hand. So I'm hitting here for that Poltergeist and 1 Cynthia. Whew. So without Guzma, I wouldn't actually win the game, because I could actually hit Jirachi only for 30, and that wouldn't be enough for the knockout, and he would probably had a chance to power up his Necrozma for the knockout against me, and that would be complete disaster. So that's the GG, my friends. At the end, Gengar Mimikyu scored really nice win in dramatic finish versus this Ultra Necrozma GX. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time. Till then, have a nice day, and goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click notification bell so you don't miss any future videos.
Visit CCGcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Hey, what is going on, Poke fans? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Another day, another video. In today's video, I decided to have a little bit of fun. If you watched yesterday video that I uploaded, it was Stage 2 deck, which features Lance and Dragonite. In today's video, we're gonna have Kingdra. Well, I guess I could take 1 Cyrus and call it Cyrus's Kingdra. But I decided just not to do it. So in today's video, I'm gonna play 3 different Stage 2 Pokemons, and you're gonna see that this deck will work as it should be. It's a very simple deck list, as you can see, not too many tech cards, just the necessary cards that we need to power up this deck, and that's pretty much it. Only 6 draw supporters as well, which is also noticeable thing. But the main brain about this deck is definitely Jirachi with the Stellar Wish. Jirachi is such a playable card. It's not wonder why this card worth like $25 a piece. Here in Europe it's even more, it's about 25 euros if we speak about English version. German, Italian, French are a little bit cheaper, about 15-16 euros, but it's still equivalent to probably around 19-20 US dollars, which is insane. And with Jirachi being around, we can play much more easier those stage 2 decks. Stellar Wish ability says that once during your turn, if you have Jirachi in your active position, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal a trainer card you find there and put it in your hand, and then you can shuffle the other cards back in your deck. So with Jirachi we can grab supporter card, we can grab Aqua Patch, Rare Candy, Ultra Ball, whatever we find there, and whatever we need at that crucial moment. Kingdra on the other side is the main attacker. It does a lot of damage with a Hydro Pump. It can go for like 10 plus 50 more for each water energy attached to Kingdra. If we have 3 stage 2 Pokemons in play, then we can also use the advantage of Super Boost energy, and with single energy hit for like 210, which is mind-blowing. There's the Swampert with the Power Draw for extra draw support in case if you need the draw support, and that's the reason why I decided to take one Swampert. I was considering playing one Ditto and one Zebstrika, and then I told myself, well, if it's a stage 2 deck, if I already play Rare Candies, why not to go with the Mudkip and Swampert? Simple as it is. It is a stage 2 Pokemon. It can allow me to draw 3 cards by discarding 1 card, which can be very useful because I can get rid of some of the unnecessary cards that I don't need. I can thin my deck much more faster. I can have water energies in my discard pile. Then I can use Aqua Patch to power those banished Pokemon with the Aqua Patches. Plus I can also use Hydro Pump as well with, let's say, Super Boost energy and hit for 160 with just a single energy and non-GX attacker. So I decided rather to go with Swampert in that case. And there's also a Blastoise with powerful Squall ability, which says that once during a turn you might look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of 1 energies cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like, and then you need to shuffle the other cards back in your deck. Also, Hydro Tackle can be used for like 150, which is a decent amount of damage for 3 energy cards, considering that this deck can be very fast accelerated with Aqua Patches and with powerful Squirrel as well. So 17 Pokemon, 30 trainer cards, and 13 energies, 12 water and 1 super boost energy are featured in this build. Going quickly through the item cards, we're gonna find 4 copies of Aqua Patch, 4 copies of Rare Candy, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, 2 copies of Timer Ball, and 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher, featuring 2 copies of Skateboard, and that's pretty much it. So we have some options to retreat for free, our Jirachi. We have Rare Candies, which we need to have because we really want to skip that stage 1 evolution from Horsey to Kingdra, from Mudkip to Swampert, from Squirrel to Blastoise. In addition to that, we can also go by manually evolving into Horsey to Sidra, Squirrel to Wartortle. Unfortunately, Mudkip cannot evolve in his stage 1 Marshtomp because I'm not running it. I'm just going 1-1 with the Swampert straight away. And 2 Rescue Stretchers in case if we need to search something from our discard pile or recycle it back, speaking about Pokemons. 4 Aqua Patches for extra energy acceleration, and a Skateboard for that retreat. Timer Ball and Ultra Ball also here for the setup, as well as 3 copies of Brooklet Hill, where we can compete against our opponent's stadium cards, and where we can simply, use Brooklet Hill to set something on our bench, which is water type, for example, Horsey, Mudkip, or Squirrel. There's not too many Pokemons in this build. I'm just running 3 Horses, 1 Mudkip, and 2 Squirrels, so it is a very, very risky deck list. If you miss turn 1 setup, you're probably gonna lose. If you hit turn 1 setup, you're gonna win, because this deck is very powerful. It's really hard to be knocked out, and it hits for a heavy amount of damage with less energies that you will expect. 6 Drow supporters, 4 Cynthias, 2 Lilies, and more than that, I'm also running 3 Guzmas, and that's it. I already mentioned 13 energies, 12 water, and 1 super boost energy. This is the deck list I'm gonna use in today's video. If you already didn't subscribe, if you're new to the channel, you should definitely click subscribe button and like, because you're gonna have a lot of fun in the future, especially if you like those rogue, not competitive, top competitive decks. I always try to build a deck that is competitive, but it's not competitive in the real world because nobody is trying to play this deck. You know, I always try to innovate something new that people can actually have fun. So yeah, without further ado, let's move on to the game test so you can actually see this deck in action. So see you in the game. I'm really not sure what to expect from this deck, just because it has 3 different stage 2 Pokemons. Stage 3 would be something like Break deck, I guess. Break Pokemon or level X. A decent setup. Squirrel and Mudkip. Turn 1 with Jirachi in active position, with the Skateboard and with Cynthia. So this looks really, really promising as it looks. Some sort of Shrine deck with Boswell something, probably. Ultra Ball top deck. I guess I couldn't ask for better. Seriously, we're gonna go with Cynthia. I can't discard both Rescue Stretchers turn 1. It is just ridiculous to do that. Brooklyn Hill into the Horsey. So I have Blastoise, I have Kingdra, and I have Swampert. So 2 rare candies and 1 in my hand. It's gonna be a very interesting game. Really interesting game. Hunting other Jirachi. And this looks really, really good for me right now. Really strong setup. I still have that Stellar Wish available. Oh, Cynthia, perfect. So maybe Timer Ball can happen with other Stellar Wish. That would be amazing. Guzma and Aqua Patch. I guess I can't use Aqua Patch, so I'm just gonna grab Guzma just in case and pass my turn. Alright. I wake up, which is a good thing, but it doesn't matter too much. Okay, it is possible. Alright, so theoretically Boswell can one-hit knock out a Horsey, but not too much problems as long as he have Beast Energy, so it can happen easily. I also like Void, Tentacles attack, and also Nightcap. Both attacks are good. Oh, so it is Zapdos. Alright. I would love to see Switch here, just because, no, there's a Guzma for Horsey, maybe Squirrel. Okay, so he decided to go for Squirrel. Squirrel is good. I don't mind too much if he knocks my Squirrel out. Horsey is much more important because with Horsey I can start attacking. With Squirrel, I just don't need Blastoise that much. And still I can have another one in play anyways. Alright, so what do we can get with Stellar Wish? Lily and Aqua Patch. Is it worth for me to play Lily here? Depends. It really depends on what I can get, because I have that rare candy available, so it worked. It definitely worked. So the question just remains, do I want to go for the knockout? Since I already played supporter card and since I can't play Guzma to another Stellar Wish, I'm definitely going to take the knockout in play, hit him for 110. I'm very happy because I managed to take the first prize card in the game, and there's another rare candy, so I guess I can theoretically go with a Guzma next turn into my Jirachi, trying to maybe find Ultra Ball or something like that, or I might just consider going with, I don't know, maybe Cynthia. I have 3 Cynthias in my hand, so I don't need them. And there's a switch onto Zapdos and Lily for 5, so there's a high chance that my opponent will be able to get that. So this might be for a Oranguru Nest Ball, or maybe for another Zapdos, or maybe for just Stellar Wish and Jirachi. Escape Rope. Yeah, I'm gonna put my Jirachi in front. That actually helped me a little bit because I can then use Stellar Wish and then Guzma and then another Stellar Wish and then retreat onto my Kingdra. So I like that. I like that. The skateboard switch energy is necessary for my opponent in this case. He substituted my shrine. He substituted my Brooklet for his shrine. I took 10 damage. I top deck a skateboard, which means that I don't even need to play Guzma if I don't want. So we're definitely going to try to find an Ultra Ball card here. So there we go. There is the Ultra Ball. And I guess I'm going to discard both Cynthias, which is very expensive play here. And I'm going for my Swampert. Still, I don't need Blastoise, as you can see. Something tells me that I can probably go into another Jirachi and use another Stellar Wish, which will then give me an opportunity to get that Timer Ball. I can definitely use Timer Ball as well and maybe try to get a Vertotal. After that Vertotal play, I'm ready to use my Guzma on my opponent Zapdos, which will unlock possibility for his Buzzwole next turn. But it's not that I actually need to knock him out. I can basically just hit for 30 and maybe just Maelstrom. I think I'm gonna probably just Maelstrom for now, hitting for like 40 to all of his Pokemons in play. The reason why I decided to do that is mainly because I want to probably set another Kingdra in play. I don't feel comfortable if Buzzwole hits me for like 100 and something with just a single energy card and possibly even knocks me out. Oh, Garbodor. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I just played 6 item cards. That's okay. Time for Jirachi to be promoted in the front. Again, he decided to promote his own Jirachi as well. And there is a Stellar Wish from the other side of the field into the Guzma. So probably right now he's gonna try to target my Kingdra, maybe even Vertotal, or no, he just decided to pass the turn because he played Lily. I completely forget about that. Alright. And there we go. There is a Blastoise. Can I maybe find Guzma? Nope, but I can remove definitely his Brooklet, his Shrine with my Brooklet Hill. Always good way to go. 1 power draw for 1 water energy, and I can draw 3 fresh cards. Maybe even to set another horse in play wouldn't be bad as well. We can try to go with the powerful Squall, 3 energies onto my Swampert actually, and he have Guzma available, which means that if I knock him out, he can definitely activate it. So I'm gonna hit for 30 and run on my Jirachi on the bench. And I didn't attach energy from my hand manually, so yeah, never mind for that. Another Jirachi, alright. Okay, so right now, it's chance for this Buzzwole to do some damage. Sledgehammer is ready for like 120. Still not even close for the knockout versus Kingdra, neither Blastoise, neither Swampert. So none of these Pokemons can be one-hit knocked out by Sledgehammer. And the good thing is that I'm 1 prize ahead of my opponent. I managed to remove his Shrine. The question is when he will be able to put those Garbodors in play. There it is. How many item cards do we have? So there's like 2 Rare Candies, 2 Ultra Ball, 1 Timer Ball, and 1 Aqua Patch. So that's like 6 item cards in my discard pile, and that's like only 120. So the max damage he can do is like 120, maybe 150 max. If we consider Beast Energy, maybe 210, up to 210 with Choice Band and Beast Energy, but yeah, it's quite a bit. It's a lot of cards. So there's a Guzma probably for Kingdra. As expected. Sledgehammer, 120. Not enough for the knockout, unfortunately. And if I want to knock him out, I'm gonna need extra energy. Or actually, I don't need extra energy, damn it! Because he already have 50. Never mind for that. I'm ready with that Hydro Pump. 160. Taking another prize card, so it is a Kingdra, so I can rare Candy into another Kingdra next turn. And there's an Allegio, which can use that Nightcap, but you can only use this attack if your opponent has exactly 2 prize cards remaining. You can choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attack and use it as this attack, so you can basically use whatever attack you want. For example, Hydro Pump, but in this case, Hydro Tackle is the best one because it can go for like 150. There's a Walkner play, which is probably going to be for a... If he have a skateboard, he don't have a skateboard. Alright, so it is for a skateboard and energy. And then Zapdos can go for like 80, and that's enough for the knockout. And then I can respond with the knockout with my Swampert, which I'll probably do. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to do that. But first things first, let's see what we can get with Jirachi, because we can use him. Why not? I'm going to put another horse in play, and also going to put this Kingdra in play. Time for energy attachment, and time for maybe a Guzma play. I can consider using this Aqua Patch just in case, but not for now. So right now he's hitting for like 140. Powerful Squall once again. There is energy card, which can go then to, I guess, Kingdra. And then I can even use my Power Draw to throw out this Jirachi, and still I have a chance to maybe draw Guzma. Maybe not. Fair enough. Ready for that Hydro Pump, whatever you want to call it. 160, once again, down to 2 prize cards versus 3. And right now, it's time for my opponent to use his Nightcap, so he can hit me for like a 150. Still looking for that Guzma. Even if he can hit me for like 150, I still have Swampert ready for like 140, which can go for the knockout. If he can't take knockout this turn, then he can't win this game. So he definitely needs to go for the knockout this turn. Otherwise, he would lose the game. Theoretically, if he take the knockout this turn, he can have 2 prize cards, and then I can probably go down to 1. And maybe he can somehow maybe force me. No, there's a Lighting Energy, so it's not going to be enough. No Sign of the Beast energy, neither Rainbow. So Zapdos can go for like 110. That's a decent amount of damage. I have Super Boost energy. We can play for fun, I guess. What we can get with a Power Draw, we can find out after throwing this Blastoise in a discard pile. And I can even see what else I have left. So I do have Guzma, as well as 1 energy card, which I guess I don't need to attach anywhere. So Hydro Pump for like 300 something, 360. That's a heavy amount of damage, right? And there's a Lily. Alright, so the best thing he can probably do right now is just to knock me out with one of those Garbodors, and after that I can just end the game, powering up my Swampert and using another Hydro Pump for the game. But even before that, he decided to concede. And that's it. That is a GG. Over 1000 damage I managed to deal with the Kingdra, so definitely MVP in this matchup. Speaking about MVP, so just going quickly through my opponent deck list, I see 2 Zebstricas, 2 line of Garbodor, 3 Zapdos, double Jirachi, Buzzwole, Nihilego, Tapu Koko, as well as GX Tapu Koko, classically 4 Electro Power, Tech, 2 Switch cards, 2 Escape Ropes, a little bit too less, only 1 Volkner, so yeah. A lot of different attackers means that you were gonna have a lot less tech cards available. I would probably consider running one Blitzel and probably one Ditto for better consistency, maybe with Garbod or maybe just with, yeah, Zebstrika anyways. So, GG. Alright, so that game number 1 was really good. Turn number 1 was amazing. I had such an amazing turn 1 that I really don't know if I can repeat that once again in this game number 2. I guess I can't because I already have like 6 useless cards in my hand. At least I have Draw Supporter, so it is something. Top decking Ultra Ball would be the best possible thing for me, I guess. Well, it was close. It is a timer ball. Still I can draw 2 extra cards. There is the Ultra Ball, so at least something, I guess. And you can guess which Pokemon I'm gonna get, and it's gonna be Jirachi, obviously. Yeah, I already discarded 3 energies in my discard pile. Not bad thing, because I can use those energies literally with my Aqua Patch. And the good thing is that I also have Brooklet Hill available as well. So if I have Swampert, I'm definitely gonna go with Mudkip. Yes, I have him. And that's it for now. So I'm gonna try to find a, obviously, Draw Supporter if it's possible, but if it's not, maybe a Rare Candy, if my opponent before that don't knock me out. So he literally needs just Switch. And if he can find Switch, then I'm gonna be knocked out. Yeah, another Zapdos deck, this time with Jolteon. Not gonna be easy to play versus this deck. I'm like 100% positive in that. 3 energies in my discard pile, Ultra Ball played, and Lily turn 1. Not the best, not the worst. At least I have Jirachi stayed in the active position. Okay, next turn I can Brooklet Hill into another Horsey, I think. I think I don't even need Blastoise when I think twice. I mean, Blastoise is a good one, but still. I didn't use him too much. I mean, yeah, still manually attaching energies wouldn't be that good, I guess. Let's go for that squirrel. Let's go for that squirrel. Let's be honest. Let me see if I can actually get that Rare Candy. Ah, I knew I shouldn't do that. I knew I shouldn't do that. I knew I should first go with Timer Ball instead. My mistake, guys, my mistake. Don't blame me for that. I guess I was a little bit too greedy, I guess. I can retreat, which I will probably do. Into the Horsey, just because I want to keep my Jirachi alive, possibly. The reason why I'm doing that is just because if my opponent has Switch or maybe even Energy, Electro Power, yeah, he can't knock my Jirachi out, but still, I really want to have that Jirachi search option. So I'm risking a little bit. There is a Tapu Lele play, which might be for Guzma. And everything is good, except if he decides to knock my Seadra out. As long as he go for Squirrel, I'm thankful for doing that. And there is a Guzma. Just pick Squirrel and I'm fine. Don't target the Seadra, you don't need to do that. Don't do that, buddy. Ah. Yeah, he actually decided to go for the Seadra instead. And he have Electro Power, so 110. More than enough for the knockout. So right now I'm gonna need Rare Candy. Never mind. At least I have Jirachi, so that's something. Rare Candy into Kingdra. Energy would work perfect. Once again, I'm gonna use Stellar Wishes because I have Blastoise, so it is a good chance to pull Rare Candy. Not even one, but 2 of them. So at least I can set my Blastoise in play. And with Cynthia, I can try to find maybe another Another one. Ooh. Ooh, perfect. Timer ball, one heads. Oof, it was very close. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do Swampert thing. You probably wonder why Swampert. Because I can draw 3 more cards and technically find even more resources. Yeah, I think it would be a little bit too much, I guess. How many energies I can find with Powerful Squall? None of them. Buddy, you're staying in the front for now, or I may be retreating. Really hard option. Okay, that's it. I'm doing fine for now. As long as I can maybe get another Stage 2 Pokemon in play, like Kingdra next turn, so I can probably use Guzma Super Boost Energy for Knockout versus Jolteon. Oh, what an amazing play that would be. I wish Brooklyn Hill can actually allow you to search any water deck, like, for example, Ultra Space. I think it would be a little bit too strong, I guess. Another Ultra Ball might be another Tapu Lele play, but I probably don't assume that's gonna happen. Maybe just Ultra Ball for another Zapdos, or maybe Tapu Koko. Makes sense, especially if you have some sort of energy switch option. So yeah, basically Super Boost can shake my opponent so hard. That's like 200 with single energy, if it's attached to Kingdra. I have 2 horses, so that's a good thing. None of my Pokemons actually has weakness on the lighting. They're actually weak on the grass. 2 Electro Powers will be enough for the knockout. Okay, so he is hitting me for like a 70. Well played. I mean, what else I'm gonna say? Well played. He got me there. He's hitting me for like 70, so that's okay. Yeah, just energy top deck. I think in this situation, I'm going with my Power Draw for that Brooklyn Hill, and I'm hoping for a rare candy. Rescue Stretcher play. How many energies I can get with Blastoise? None of them. Super cool. He have only like... I have Aqua Patch. Right, so... I can attack with my Swampert. I can do some damage. And I think it's definitely worth to do that. He already played like 3 Electro Powers, so we can go with a Hydro Pump for like 140. Unfortunately, I was missing one Stage 2 Pokemon. I don't know why I clicked on Shuffle 3 Pokemons back instead of just grabbing myself Seadra in hand and evolving one of my horses. I don't know, so at least he had Walkner, so he's probably gonna go with Swift Run GX anyways. And this is gonna cost me a lot. If he do that, I don't know what to do after that. So as expected, Swift Run GX, he is hitting for like 110. Next turn Swampert is knocked out. Imagine the top deck, it is a rare candy. Not too many things I can do with this rare candy. Still I can Power Draw maybe into Guzma Kingdra play. Very close. I think I'm probably gonna let my opponent knock my Horsey by paying 3 energy retreat cost. and passing my turn, so that's it for now. I have this Super Boost Energy ready in my hand, so I'm gonna knock him out anyways. I have a skateboard just in case if he missed to knock me out, but we can do that easily with a headbolt, so if he wants, and he definitely needs to do that. After that, Kingdra will just start to knocking my opponent Pokemons. Oh, he decided to retreat actually. That's also a good thing. I wish this Jolteon has much more damage, so I can just use GX and knock him out on the bench. Unfortunately, I can't. But still, I have Guzma available, so maybe I can find one with my Power Draw. Let's see. Or maybe not. I personally think I don't need to attach all of my energies, at least not for now. I'm hitting for enough damage with the Hydro Pump, so going for like 110. It is a lot of damage. It is enough for the Nugget, but only first prize card in the game, which consider me a little bit. Especially because Jolteon will right now hit me for like 110, maybe even 170 with the Choice Band and with who knows what. Yeah, there is Electro Power. Because Ekram. Alright. So I guess there is a hope still to win this game. Definitely. Because I can pull 2 prize cards versus Jolteon and then 3 prize cards versus Ekram. So I'm just gonna need Guzma, basically, and that's it. So another Power Draw for that Rare Candy, which will give me then Guzma. Perfect. Any energy? Yes, 1 left. Okay, so with 8 energies, I can go for like 410. So he probably made a terrible mistake there by putting his Ekram in play. So right now I can Hydro Pump him for like 410. And I can draw 3 prize cards. And after that I just need 1 more Guzma for the win. And since I can Power Draw and since I can also thin my deck a little bit by playing this Ultra Ball, I have a great chance to pull the last one, Guzma, for the win. Or I can maybe also lose the game. And who would thought that I would probably win both games in a series with Kingdra, Blastoise, Swampert deck? I personally wouldn't expect that, but so far I'm managing to melt my opponent really easily. So Guzma is the way to go. He decided to concede at the end, so yeah, definitely I'm surprised. I'm definitely surprised, I need to say that, to be honest. I managed to defeat 2 tier decks with Kingdra, which is, you know, a fun deck. Managed to strike for 410 in a single turn with the Kingdra, which is just amazing because the Super Boost Energy actually makes this deck very powerful, and that's all about it. You know, playing with the rogue decks, having fun, entertaining decks are always welcome. And I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. If you did, make sure to hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this deck. As usual, have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. So, goodbye.
Visit CCGcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center, another video, and in today's video I'm ready to go with Charizard Blacephalon deck. So it is a very interesting deck, and it's also gonna be very very funny to watch this video. So yeah, you should definitely have some water, because this is gonna be very hot watching this deck. So Charizard with Roaring Resolve ability. Once during your turn, you might put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon. If you do that, you can search your deck for up to 2 energies, which needs to be a fire energy cards, and then you can attach them to this Pokemon. And then you can shuffle your deck. So after that, you can use continuous Blaze Ball for 30, and if you do that, this deck will does 50 more energies, 50 more for each fire energy discarded in this way. Unfortunately, you need to discard all of your fire energy cards, and that might be a bad thing, because, you know, sometimes if you have 3 energies and if you just need 150, you probably don't want to discard all 3 of them if you can just knock something with 150, right? Or actually 130. But pretty much this deck is built to be able to go for 130 against lower HP Pokemons like Giratina, like Buzzwole, and cards like that. It can also go for like 180, which can be enough for the knockout with 3 energies, or with 2 energies, and Choice Band actually will not be enough for the one-hit knockout against Tapu Lilies and stuff like that. But with the 3 energies and Choice Band, you can easily go for 180 plus 30, so 210. Actually, with 3 energies, you can go for 180, and then you can go for the one-hit knockout against Blacephalon and cards like that. With 3 energies and Choice, but you can go up to 210, and then you can even one-hit knockout Zoroarks. With 4 energies, you can go to 240, and then you can one-hit knockout even Pikasaurk or any other 240 HP Pokemon, and take even 3 prize cards. So theoretically, with Charizard, you can exchange 1 prize for 2 prizes. Unfortunately, this is a stage 2 Pokemon, which might be a little bit disadvantage, but still, it's a very powerful stage 2 Pokemon. I really like it. On the other side of the field, when our opponent managed to draw 2 prize cards or maybe 3 prize cards, then we can start to use we can also start to use that Blacephalon, Mind Blow, and Burst GX, and then we can also use advantage of B-Strings and power up that Blacephalon for even more damage counters. But I also like the fact that in the early stage of the game, maybe turn 1 if you missed the start with, for example, Jirachi, or if you already started with Jirachi, we can always retreat to Blacephalon, use Burst GX, or maybe go with the Burning Burst and burn and confuse our opponent active Pokemon. But kind of like the option where we can have that Burst GX also available to go. Well, there's also Ditto and the Magcargo, which is a very important tech in my opinion, because with the Smooth Over and Lily play, and also with Jirachi, we can easily pilot this build and set it up turn 2, turn 3, just perfect. Turn 2, you can already start attack with Charizard. If you have Magcargo set up, you don't need to worry about being able to play Blacephalon with a B-String. It's just very easy because deck is very consistent and list is very good. And there's then, yeah, and then I'm gonna say probably one more time. Then there is also Jirachi with Stellar Wish, which will allow you to, you know, set up in an early stage of the game, maybe Fun Guzma if you need it, and something like that. Moving on to item cards, 2 B-Strings. For Blacephalon, Energy Acceleration, 2 Energy Recycles, so we can shuffle back 5 fire energies from discard pile back into our deck. Very important because Charizard discards energies and we need to have something to energy recycle. 7 ball cards in total, 3 copies of Ultra and Nest Ball, 4 copies of Rare Candy, so we can quickly go from Charmander to Charizard. There's also a Rescue Stretcher for Pokemon Recycle, and 1 copy of Stadium cards. Hit Factory. Once per turn, if you have lucky to play Hit Factory and if our opponent is not able to discard, we can discard Fire Energy and drop 3 extra cards, which can be even more useful with Magcargo play. So it's just very good. I really like this deck. I fell in love with it and I can't wait to build this deck and test it in real life as well. 2 of each Choice Band and a Skateboard for extra damage for retreat with our Pokemons. Basically, mainly Jirachi and Charmander. 8 Drow Supporters, 4 copies of Cynthia, 4 copies of Lily, 3 copies of Guzma, and 12 plus 1 Fire Energies, and also 1 Beast Energy. And trust me, you're gonna enjoy watching the battle. This deck is very good. I highly recommend anybody to test this deck out and to see the full potential of this deck and to see how this deck works in action, because it's really good. and it's not actually that expensive to build, you know. If you're new in the game and if you would love to start with something competitive and if you don't know what to build, all you really need is just to purchase 2 Charizard decks, and then you're gonna get pretty much 414 copies of Charizard. You're gonna get 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Nazball, 4 Rare Candies, you're gonna get Fire Energies, you're gonna get 4 Cynthias, you're gonna get Lilies. The only cards that you're probably gonna need to buy are gonna be 2 Jirachis and 2 Blacephalons with B-Strings and Ditto, and that's probably gonna cost you probably around 70 or 80 bucks, which is really good in my opinion because this deck can actually be very competitive. It's a Charizard deck, it's iconic deck, and it's very good and enjoyable experience to play it. So, see you in the game. Alright, so calling the heads, usual procedure, and I'm starting first, so definitely I want to start the game by going first. And not bad opening hand. There's a Charmander and Cynthia, so at least we have a draw supporter available. Good to know that. I wish I have some sort of Jirachi here, but I don't. Still, I can play Escape board onto my Charmander turn 1, so I can have my Jirachi in the front. Then I can preserve that energy. Or I can maybe pay 1 energy to retreat and then have my skateboard attached onto Jirachi, which I will probably consider doing. After I use my Ultra Ball for some sort of Guzma and let it be Macargo play. It is a very risky and a very expensive play, I know that. So I have Ditto, I have Rescue Stretcher, so it's pretty much okay. I want to have definitely Choice Band attached onto my Charmander, so I'm gonna go with this type of the play. More than that, the rest of the cards in my hand looks gorgeous. The only card that I will try probably to get will be after this Stellar Wish. Ooh, we have Rare Candy there. I need Ditto. I basically need Ditto. Ditto is the play here. So I'm gonna go with a Nazball for Ditto, so I don't need to burn my Cynthia in this scenario. So I can have Macargo. Very, very important. More than that, that's it for now. I attached energy, I have Ultra Ball for the following turn, as well as Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher is mainly here for this Macargo right now. Then I can attach energy, or maybe go with Ultra Ball, and then try to find Rare Candy or something like that with Jirachi, or I can even just play Lily and then keep Ultra Ball for maybe later. Looks good so far, looks definitely good so far. I actually helped my opponent with the bench space and bench size, so he can get greater chance to pull more resources with Erika, and also to have much stronger attack with his Lycanroc. So he can definitely use Dangerous Rogue GX for like 200 as it looks right now. So he can go for a lot of damage. And it is my turn, and my top deck is another Charmander. Wow, that's interesting. Alright, so I'm gonna go with Macargo play. I'm even thinking about using 1 copy of my Ultra Ball here, which can definitely go for some sort of Charizard play with the Ultra Ball. With Smooth Over, we can definitely go for 1 copy of Rare Candy. So I can be 100% positive that I will draw that Rare Candy with Lily. That's pretty much play for now. Let's go. Perfect. So I have Charizard as well as my Blacephalon, plus I can still use my Stellar Wish, potentially for another Charizard. Unfortunately, nope. I'm good to go with Retreat. Discard all fire energies, so 1 energy should definitely go to bench a Charmander as it looks, and with Roaring Resolve I'm good to go. Maybe Brooklyn Hill, just to take a look at the rest of the cards. We have 2 B-strings, important thing to know. There's a Heat Factory as well, 6 more energies left, and 2 energy recycle systems as well. Actually 2 energy recycles, not recycle system. The most important thing here is the fact that I'm knocking this Rockruff out, and I'm taking advantage over my opponent in the early stage of the game, so I already managed to draw a prize card, and that's a very important thing. And there's a Alolan Vulpix play from the other side of the field. For the Rescue Stretcher, immediately he wants to get that Rockruff in play. So yeah, in order to get knocked out, actually I don't need to worry about being knocked out by Rockruff because I can counterplay and surprise my opponent with my Blacephalon GX and with the B-string play. So I'm actually gonna try to trick him somehow in this play. He can also knock me out, for example, with the Sledgehammer as well. So Sledgehammer can also go for like 140 with that Diancie play. So for me, probably the best top deck in this case would be some sort of Guzma play, obviously. But I'm gonna go for another rare candy so I can evolve another Charizard in play. That's my good turn as well. He managed to discard that escape board, which might be very important in some specific stage of the game. Blacephalon is definitely for the late game. I mean, early game use Charizard, late game try to get advantage over your opponent with, you know, Charizard's 150 HP, not easy to knock out. So, he can also potentially maybe even use that Sublimation GX for the knockout. And it is interesting thing that he decided to evolve this active Ninetales, which kind of surprised me there, since he already attached energy to Buzzwole on the bench. B-string switch, so he is maybe trying to get in the B-string play. And he actually do me a favor there with this Buzzwole, especially because I'm gonna knock him out. I'm actually really happy to see this play. First things first, let's go with that resolving Roaring Resolve. After that, I think I'm good to go with another Rare Candy Charizard play with my Smooth Over, or I can maybe go with... Nah, I'm actually gonna go with Charizard Smooth Over play, or who knows what he's preparing, so I think I'm gonna put my Blacephalon on the bench right now. And then I'm gonna go with Smooth Over play, which should be another Rare Candy into another Charizard, because this one is probably going to be knocked out anyways. 2 cards with the Lily, Rare Candy, who knows what, another Lily. Alright, we have this Rare Candy into Charizard, and next turn I can again either way go with my Charizard ability and B-string if I need. But for now, I'm just good to go with 130 damage for another knockout. And there's another energy card. Alright, so Sublimation can definitely be used as long as he have enough resources for that. So counter play, counter gain, and some sort of Rainbow Energy, or maybe Fairy Energy, or maybe something like that. There's a Blacephalon, there's a Buzzwole GX on the other side of the field, which might even go for the knockout against my Blacephalon. So who knows, if he have Rare Candy, he can potentially do that. So it's all possibly here. Top Lily for yeah, it is probably gonna be a knockout there with the Guzma, but it doesn't matter because I already have charges with like energy, and with energy in my hand, and with that Roaring Resolve I can go for like 4 energies. That's like 230, should be more than enough for the one hit knockout against Buzzwole, and then I'm still gonna be in range for that B-string. So what I'm thinking probably to do here might be Macargo for Smooth Over play into the Blacephalon, so I can definitely use advantage with my Blacephalon and with the B-string. But I'm very limited with the resources and with the energies, so I guess I guess I'm gonna do that. So absorption. He decided to use, even versed, he used GX because he can't go for the one-hit knockout with the knuckle impact, and that's really bad thing. Oh, I didn't promote my Jirachi in the front, but it doesn't matter just because I can't even have enough for the knockout with him. Alright, so I guess first things first, Roaring Resolve for how many energies? For 2 of them. Alright, that's perfect. So that's 180. So 1, 2, 3, 150, 180, 210. And then I'm ready to go with a smooth over into the Blacephalon. There we go. Another Lily. It's interesting that I have also another B-string, but unfortunately it doesn't matter too much. Still, energy can somewhere be attached, so will I go with another energy attachment? I think I don't need to do that, especially because I'm already hitting for a lot of damage, so but I think I should actually go with energy attachment somewhere. 1, 2, 3, that's, let's just count once again. 150, 180, and 30, 210. Let it be onto Charizard. And there we go. So I'm heading for 210. It's more than enough for the knockout, going down to 2 price cards. So still my opponent can be in the range of that GX attack. So 2 rare candies, good to know, because we are ready to go with rare candy play into the Charizard. Number 3. And I wish I can have my energy recycle, so I can recycle those energies back, so I can use maybe potentially another B-string play, but as it looks, there's another Buzzwole on the other side of the field, so who knows if there will be another. Actually, he could also knock me out turn before with a Knuckle Impact, so he didn't need to use that Absorption GX, because Knuckle Impact with one copy of the NC can go for like 180. So yeah, there's basically one thing to go, literally. If my opponent can knock my Blacephalon, that will mean that I'm gonna have like very small amount of cards available. Yeah, even if he can do that, potentially with another B-string playing Guzman, then he can go down to 2 price cards. No, there we go with the Judge. Okay, so I'm fine for now. Yeah, still for me works perfect. Energy recycle, which I can't get, but I have Lily, and that should be enough, I guess. I'm still doubting about maybe going with either way Lily or maybe with Cynthia. I think I'm gonna go with a safe play. Macargo smooth over. Oh, okay, there's a Lycanroc. There's a Lycanroc. I completely forget about him. So who knows, he can catch my Blacephalon in the front, and if he can find B-string switch thing, then he can knock me out. Nope, just the beacon. Alright, good to know. I still didn't use my GX attack, which means that I can pull also a GX trick here, and I think that's also not a bad idea. Because I don't need to retreat, right? I don't need to retreat, and my opponent actually can't play B-string. I'm talking too much about B-string, but he is not in the range of the B-string. Alright, there we go. So, Choice Band was a top deck. I guess I can keep it for a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm good to go with a smooth over for that energy recycle system. Energy recycle, not energy recycle system. Sorry for that, guys. We can go with a Choice Band play. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry. There's a Lily for 3. There's energy recycle, which means I can recycle 5 basic energies back. I can go with my B-string play. I can attach 2 on Blacephalon. I can go with 2 energies onto my Charizard, and more than that, I can still use 1 of them for this Charizard, which I think I'm not gonna go. And since I didn't use GX, let's just go with the fun with the Burst GX. So the good thing is that I don't need to retreat. I can just use the prize card, and I need basically a Guzma for the win, because I can then just knock this DNC out. And that's literally all I need to do. On the other side of the field, my opponent needs to find a way somehow to one-hit knock out this Blacephalon, otherwise the game is over for him. Literally, there's nothing he can actually do. And that's it. Maybe there's still possibly chance if he can maybe pull some crazy knockout. I mean, no, there's just way too many energy cards. If he didn't use that GX, if he just decided to go with Knuckle Impact and then just try to sublimate GX my Blacephalon, maybe he would stand a chance. But then again, this Charizard, 2 energies and the Choice Band. This one also ready with the Choice Band play. And there's Alicia, so he's just trying to get a Beast Energy. Can he maybe surprise me there with the Beast Energy? I think he can't. Ultra Ball maybe for another Ninetales. And then if he have... he can't use counter gain even if he have one. Just because he already have Choice Band attached, so... But if he have some sort of... actually, yeah, but he have multi-switch, but the problem with the multi-switch is that he already used that Knuckle Impact. Not Knuckle Impact, but Absorption GX, so that's the time, that's the misplay. That was a misplay. So, yeah, I mean, if he just goes with the Knuckle Impact and with Knuckle Impact for 180, he would stand a chance right now, because he could literally knock my Blacephalon out, and then I would need basically like another energy. Actually, I wouldn't need even another energy recycle system, because I would be ready to go for like enough for the knockout. So he moved somehow energies. There's a Snow Wind, and that's the GG. That's the GG, because all I really need to do is just use my Mind Blow and go for 300 and something against this Ninetales for the win, 350. So, and the last prize card was a Guzma. So actually, I'm really surprised. I'm very surprised how well this deck worked. I mean, it was very consistent from the beginning till the end. So just looking forward to go quickly through my opponent deck list. So he played 2 Rockruffs and 2 Lycanrocs with 1 Mach. So there's also Ditto, 2 copies of each Vulpix and Ninetales with 2 Taupelos, Marshadow, 2 Boswell GX, DNC, 2 regular Boswells, and Ditto, 12 energy, so 4-7-1 lineup. And from trainer cards, he played 4 Ultra Ball cards, 1 Fill Blower, 1 Multi-Switch as a tech, as well as 2 B-Strings, 2 Switch, 1 Rescue Stretcher, 3 Brooklyn Hills, Lycia, Lily, Kukui, 2 Erika's Hospitalities, 2 Kukuis, actually 4 Guzmas, Judge, 2 Cynthias, and Choice Band. I mean, pretty standard and decent deck list, but this Charizard Blacephalon proved to be much harder than probably my opponent expected to be. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me know in the comments below. Did you like this video? Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you already didn't. So till the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.
Visit CCGcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Another day, another video, and today's video is really special for me because I'm actually a fan of the Lost March deck, and I didn't pay too much attention building it and posted it on my YouTube channel. And when the Emolga was released, I actually decided to give it a shot, but I was always busy with something, and I actually didn't have too much time to test the deck list to make it to be good, so I can actually share it with you guys. So I ended up with building it once again with Emolga. and it's surprisingly very good. Also thinking about probably playing this deck at my future local league, at my locals. Probably I'm gonna play it in my next season. I definitely need to give it a shot because it's a very good deck. It's a strong counter meta deck if your meta is Zoroark with Lycanroc, Zoroark with Lucario, Zoroark with who knows what. If your meta is Pika Zekrom, and if your meta is Blacephalon, if your meta is heavily GX, then you're definitely good to go with the Lost March deck. It's not expensive to be built. The most expensive cards in this build are gonna be Shrines of Punishments. Cynthia is like $2 a piece, Marshadow is like $2 a piece, Jumpluff playset can be purchased for maybe $4 a piece, and $4 at the total, grand total, and Oranguru is probably maybe $6 or $7. Maybe he actually dropped down. I'm not quite sure because I didn't pay attention too much to Oranguru price because I actually didn't even play the Oranguru for a long time. Oranguru is definitely good in this build. It fits perfect, like Banana for Mankey. I mean, with Instruct we can draw cards till we have 3. Sometimes it can be bad if our opponent decides to play Guzma on it and we might not be able to retreat. It can be scary sometimes, but overall we can definitely benefit from it because we can throw cards with Ultra Ball and Lost Blender, and then we can simply draw cards until we have 3 in our hand. It's definitely good in my opinion. I didn't find more than 2 Marshadows to be useful in this build. 2 sounds like a sweet spot. 3 maybe a little bit too much, maybe a little bit not too much. It all depends how you looked at. Playing 3 Marshadows, you have greater chance to start with one. Playing 2 of them, you have greater chance that one will be prized. But I think that as long as we have Emolga and 6 Drow supporters and Oranguru, we can definitely go with 2 Marshadows in my opinion. The rest of the decks is pretty much, the deck list is pretty much standard. 4 Hoppip, Skiploom and Jumpluff with the Lost March, 3 copies of Natu, 4 Trumbics, so that's all pretty much the same. I added 4 Nuzlocke Gathering Emolgas with Free Retreat. And also good because it has -20 resistance to fighting, so it can also absorb some damage from fighting Pokemons. And also, once per turn we can search another Pokemon that has Nuzlocke and put it in our hand. So we can go for Emolga, then we can recycle that Emolga with Pokemon Communication for something else that we need specifically at that moment, or we can basically burn that that Emolga with our Lost Blender. Yeah, Marshadow is here for the Let Loose and Draw, as well as the Oranguru, and that's it. 26 Pokemons, a lot of them, but it's not too much because you actually need as much as Lost March Pokemon and any other Pokemon in your Lost Zone, so you can hit for 20 times each Pokemon in your Lost Zone. So with the Trumbic we can control the top deck that our opponent will have. We can actually see a little bit of the future. Potentially we can discard his supporter in the Lost Zone. So yeah, that's all for the Pokemons. I'm also running 8 energies, so 4-3-1 lineup standard for me. I'm still on 4 DCEs, 3 grasses, and 1 Super Boost energy, just because there's probably going to be somebody or yeah, somebody is definitely going to play Shackle, and once you face Shackle, you're just going to scratch your head, and you're just going to wonder how in the world I can actually one-hit knock at that Pokemon, especially if it's some kind of control deck, right? Potentially with Shrine of Punishment, you can do some damage to that Shackle, but still, it's not going to be super easy. Anyways, so yeah, for the setup, I'm running 4 Netball, 4 Pokemon Communication, and 4 copies of Ultra Ball, so I can have as best possible setup that's possible with this build. I mean, it's a 60 card deck. We already have like 47, 40, a little bit less than 50. Actually, we have a little bit less than 50% of our deck with Pokemons, and we have actually around 60% of deck featuring Pokemon in the energy cards, so it's really hard to fit in 40% of the rest of the deck trainer cards, and some of those trainer cards need to be supporter cards, right? so maybe around 20% also needs to be supporter card. So we don't have too much space for maneuver. So that's the reason why I'm running 4 Net Ball, 4 Pokemon Communications, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 copies of Lost Blender, and you know, just 1 Risky Stretcher, so we can recycle some of those Pokemons that we actually lost into our deck back or into our hand. 3 line of Cynthia and Lily. I actually noticed that some people actually plays Erika's Hospitality. It's a little bit too risky for me, mainly because if I start with it, if I go first, if I don't have another draw supporter or nothing, I can do nothing. If I start with a Lily, my hand is dead. I can still draw like 3 cards at my turn 1, so it's much better than playing Erika's Hospitality. In some mid to end game, mid to late game, Erika can be much more useful, especially if our opponent has a huge bench space created, but I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of Erika at this moment, as long as we have Cynthia and Lily, and the most important thing, 3 copies of Guzma. I think personally that we don't need more than 3 of them. We have a lot of flexibilities with the Molga and Jumpler for the free retreat. We can still probably one-hit knock out everything that's going to be in front of us in the early stage of the game, and then in the late stage of the game also we can just go with the Guzma for 2-hit knockout, for 2 prize knockouts, and that's going to be it. That's also going to be the deck list that I'm going to use in today's video, so you should definitely check it out. Make sure to hit a like and subscribe if you already didn't, especially if you're new to the channel, and also let me know in the comments below what you think about this deck list. And somehow I skip Shrine, so yeah, if you play against GX decks, Shrine is actually a good way to go. I mean, I was also thinking a little bit about Viridian Forest, but then I realized that with Viridian Forest I can also help my opponent. But with Shrine in some GX matchups I can actually benefit because I can force him to take more damage between turns with the Shrines, and I can actually have less Pokemons in my loss zone for the one-hit knockout against GX Pokemons. So that's the deck list. See you in the game. And we are finally back with a new 2.0 Lost March deck. I'm expecting actually a lot of fun with it. With new Emolga, this deck actually is even more stronger. It also has much more flexibility with that Nuzly Gathering, mainly because we can pick up another Emolga with Nuzly Gathering, and we can simply have that Lost Blender for it, potentially even Ultra Ball if it's necessary to discard that Emolga in order to draw some extra resources. Alright, so taking at my opening hand, not that bad. So I have Mountain Pass here, and unfortunately, I think I'm probably gonna get another Emolga here. I actually wish I had that Lost Blender, but unfortunately I don't. So I think this is gonna be a Ultra Ball play for it actually needs to be Ultra Ball play for some sort of Natu for now, and then I'm gonna put that Double Course Energy, Shrine of Punishment in play as well, or I can maybe wait for a moment, but let's just try to set up turn 1 as much as we can. A little bit too late, I should say, that Lost Blender came into my hand. Oof, this looks like a complete disaster, I need to admit that. As it looks right now, I think I'm gonna Ultra Ball. Oof, very tough decision. Lost Blender and that Natu, so I can grab myself another Hoppip. I'm gonna definitely look forward to set, if it's somehow possible, 2 copies of Jumplifts as for the turn 2. There's a Nazball, so probably for it could be even for Eevee, but it's gonna be for Zapdos. And there's a Nazball number 2, which is gonna be for Jirachi. For my opponent, definitely best way here to go with the Guzma if he have for that Natu, quite obvious. You really want to get first prize card in a game, especially in one prize exchange deck battle. Yeah, I do have 3 Double Course Energies, but doesn't matter too much if I don't top deck something useful. So as it looks right now, I think for me the best thing is just to go with a Cynthia instead of playing that Marshadow. Looks pretty bad. But I actually managed somehow to get my Jumpluff in play. So that's something, right? Mainly because I'm ready for energy attachment. I can play that Netball, which can then be obviously for another Hoppip. And I'm good to go with Let Loose. I'm actually forced to go with Let Loose because I only have 3 Lost March Pokemon in my Law Zone for now. So I guess I can go up to 5 with that Pokemon Communication. Good thing here is that I can still potentially draw something useful with my Instruct. But the bad thing is that I'm actually forced to play this Rescue Stretcher, so I can actually have greater chance to pull something with 2 cards instead of the 1. Alright, so we are good to go. I'm short for like 1 Pokemon for the knockout. That's definitely not good. Oh, what a save. That top deck was a Trumbeak. So I'm good to go with the knockout there. For a treat, Emolga. Always good to have. And we can Lost March. So 120. That Trumbeak top deck was actually base saver. I can call that as that. And the good thing for me right now is that I have Jumpluff on my bench with a free treat if it's necessary, but I'm also gonna have that not too available in my deck as well. I'm just wondering where are my Lost Blenders, because I'm actually looking forward for one, so I can discard that Emolgas from my deck. He's ready to go with Escape Rope. I think in this situation I can give him my Marshadow. I don't need Marshadow, plus with Emolga I can at least use that Nuzlocke Gathering, so for me it's that much better. I could maybe risk with actually a Wrangler in the front, but then I could potentially lose him because I know that he had top deck. Top deck was pretty much Electro Power, and I'm not quite sure why he didn't use that, to be honest, but I'm good with that. And very nice top deck. I think as it looks right now, I'm gonna go with... I think that Guzma is not a bad option, especially if I target his Tapu Koko on the bench. But good thing is that I'm ready to go with my Marshadow. I'm actually forced to go with the Marshadow. My opponent has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in his hand. Is it good to go with him or not? That's a tricky question. That's a really tricky question. I mean, I'm gonna be knocked out anyways next turn, so if I let loose him down to 4, I have greater chance maybe to force him to not get good resources. And also good thing here is that I can grab with Nuzlocke Gathering another Emolga into my hand. But for now, I'm actually gonna Pokemon Communication that Emolga into some sort of Trumbeak, so I can control the top deck for my opponent and see potentially what the top deck card is gonna be. So the top deck card is gonna be Lighting Energy. Alright, so at least I know that the Lighting Energy will be the top deck. Alright, so I'm good to go with the Lost March, which is already 200 damage, which is an enormous amount of damage with only 1 energy card. And it's not that I have something significantly important in my Lost Zone. Plus, I still have a couple Lost Blenders left. So as it looks right now, next turn is definitely Nuzlocke Gathering for another Emolga, and then Lost Blender for Skippy and Emolga. So I can draw an extra card and then simply go with either way, maybe a Ranguru or with a Cynthia. So we're gonna see probably here a Volkner play for a Switch or maybe a Skateboard. A Skateboard would be much better. And still I'm losing this war mainly because my opponent has that price advantage. But I might be able to win this war after I knock this third Zapdos that he had, because there is no Rescue Stretcher so far for him. and this might be very important for me. However, there is Dance of the Ancients, for the Eevee and for the Jirachi. Ooh, this looks so bad. So he is definitely trying to prepare his Jolteon for the GX attack next turn, which basically means only one thing. I can potentially benefit from trying to get Guzma knockout up against that Eevee. Or I can... yeah, I have 2 Guzmas, so I think it's actually not bad time to go with it. But if I really want to win this game, I'm actually gonna need to have that GX in play. So I personally think that for me is much better option Cynthia. Alright, so we get that double course energy, that's the most important thing here. So I'm gonna retreat. More than that. There we go with the Lost March, already 240. And the good thing is that I have also Guzma, and I pulled another one from my prize cards. Alright, so as long as he can put this Jolteon in play, this is going to be a important turn for me. Mainly because it's going to be 2 prize trade for 1. And that's actually something you really want to see. Because if you're traveling 1 prize behind your opponent, you definitely need to have that magic touch against your opponent. And he actually put Viridian Forest in play. So with Viridian Forest in play, I can also go for card discardment. For example, I can discard Emolga for grass energy, so I don't even need to burn my Nazball. Actually, Netball for the grass energy. Ooh, I'm actually kind of scared. Okay, I don't need to be scared actually here, because he played Stadium and he can Nazball for Zapdos, but that Zapdos won't be able to attack, so we're good to go. Alright, so everything is perfectly fine, except for this Absol, who might be a little bit problematic here, but I have answer for that Absol as well. I have Guzma, so I think I'm personally gonna go for the knockout versus this Absol next turn. I don't need to worry too much about Jirachi, not even about the next Eevee. So Swift Run, GX, as expected. We're gonna say well played to our opponent, because he did a tremendous job here with this attack. And I'm not gonna waste too much my time, because I'm definitely hunting this Absol, because this Absol might give me a head edge in the late game. I'm gonna put this Natu on the bench, just in case. Fun fact is that I can grab that grass energy, and I still have plenty of resources left, so I don't need to worry too much. Energy, Nuzlocke Gathering, once again just to see what I have left. So I have Guzma and 4 energy cards and Guzma in my hand, so I don't need to worry too much. I'm good to go for the Lost March. It's a 240, and I'm down to 2 prize cards, and I can actually win the game and end the game by knocking his Jolteon out at my next turn. So yeah, as long as he can't somehow shuffle my hand or throw out from my hand this Guzma, he needs to make somehow this Guzma magically disappear, and I think it's gonna be actually impossible for him to do that. However, that's the only option that he can try to win the game, but I think that's definitely it. I mean, it is it. So it is it. So Lost March probably can parry to Zapdos deck. It can definitely outplay Pika-Zekrom deck. Versus Jolteon and versus Zapdos, it's a whole different story, mainly because it depends who start first and who take the knockout first. And it also depends if you can, you know, follow your opponent with prize exchange from turn to turn, and if your opponent will play that GX Pokemon, then you can simply grab 2 prize cards. Deck list is very consistent, you can definitely see it. I mean, it works flawless, there's no doubt about it. And there we go with another Energy to Eevee, so he couldn't find a Rescue Stretcher for that Zapdos, which is really bad thing for him. But however, he have Guzma, and he definitely decided to target my Oranguru. But that's it, because after that Lost March, Jumpluff is good to go for the knockout. So personally, oh, actually he decided, oh, okay, that's a very clever play, because, okay, I didn't expect him to do that. So, which basically means one thing. We're gonna go with Ultra Ball here for Guzma and for that Net Ball. And then we're gonna grab ourselves a Jumpluff. We're gonna go with that Jumpluff discardment into a Grass Energy. And then I'm gonna play a Net Ball, so I need that double Color's Energy, otherwise this might be very bad thing. So I'm taking a big risk there, and I'm hunting this DCE for the retreat. Ooh, I didn't expect this turn to happen, but I managed to pull my double Color's Energy, so that was very close game. So yeah, with the double Color's Energy, I had option to retreat my Ranguru, and once I was able to retreat my Ranguru, I was also able to take the one-hit knockout versus his Jolteon with my Jumpluff for 240, because I had 12 Lost March Pokemons in my Lost Zone, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, unfortunately we cannot see the deck list that our opponent used in this video, but we can definitely go once again through our deck list. Yeah, the MVP in this matchup was definitely Jumpluff. He managed to do the most damage counters. We drew 44 cards, we played 60 trainers in total, and yeah, we had also a very successful setup with this build. Once again, there is the full deck list that I used in today's video. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. It's definitely a short video. I don't want to put too many battles in play, because we all know how Lost March is actually meant to be. And yeah, I hope this video is gonna help you to decide which type of the deck list you should actually play in the future. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. So till the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.